Welcome everybody to Handmade by Trish. Thank you for joining me today. I've got a little project that I actually got this from another Stampin' Up demonstrator, Jackie from Clompin Stampers. I've done a similar card to this before, but what I liked about this one is it's a card within a card, so you actually have lots of room to write. I've done these before where this is the card, which is lovely, but it means that if you don't want it being seen, there's not much room to write. Whereas this one is a card within a card, so you open it up and then there's another card inside that you open up with another message, so you could actually write in all of this area here. So I thought a much nicer way of doing this style of fancy fold. So I will link Jackie's video into the description because her video is in Imperial. So it's got all the measurements for people in the USA or those using inches. Mine I have converted to the metric version, so in centimetres and millimetres. So I will link her description and I will try and show you some other samples I've done of this card too since I found her video, because I really like it and it's nice and simple. You don't need too many supplies, so this is the stamp set I'm going to do. I'm going to repeat this card here that I've shown you. So this is the stamp set, colour and contour. The dies that I'm using are fairly new. They're the Nested Essentials dies in our annual catalogue. And I've used some paper out of this gorgeous paper pack called Fresh as a Daisy. There's some absolutely gorgeous papers in here. You can see I've hacked away at them already. And there's quite an interesting one here, which has lots of different panels that you could cut up and do cards and that with that. This one, though, I just love this. It's all kind of like brushed strokes on the back. So it's very floral on one side, brush strokes on the other. And a lot of this paper pack is like that, actually. You'll see that's a moody mauve brush strokes, a grey. So one side's very floral and the other's a lot, yeah, like brush strokes. So you get a couple of different shades, which is what I wanted for this particular card. So that's the card stock that I've used. The card base I'm doing out of Granny Apple Green. Although Granny Apple Green isn't in this paper is Pretty Peacock and Garden Green, I actually thought that it looked really nice together, those two. And then I've used the Pretty Peacock for this panel and just basic white for the other bits and pieces. So the dies that you can see I've already cut mine out. So this nested die set, there's different shapes. So you could do this using other shapes as well, but I've used the two largest of this shape here. I've used the two large dies. So the largest die I've used to cut the Pretty Peacock out, and then the smaller die I've used for the basic white. So they will layer together. So I will give you the measurements, although once again I will put those in the description too. I notice my camera's sinking deeper and deeper. Need to sort out my stand, so apologies for that. So the measurements for the cardstock, you're going to need a card base at whatever colour you choose, and that's going to be 21 centimetres by 14.8 centimetres. Then you're going to need, for your inside card, some basic white or very vanilla, depending on what you're doing. And the inside card base is 10 centimetres this way by 28.6 centimetres this way. You need 2 pieces of designer series paper, and these measure 14.3 centimetres by 4.8 centimetres, and you need 2 of those. Just be mindful if you've got directional paper as to what way you're cutting those. And then I've got my 2 die cut pieces that I've prepared already. I'll do the scoring with you, so I'll just pop those little bits to one side. So if we get the coloured card base that you're going to have, this we're going to score this in 2 places. So our first score line is going to be 5.3, which is there. Then I like to flip it over and then do 10.6. Now, it's not necessary to flip it over, but I find if you flip it over, then you're folding the folds the right way and it'll cause less cracking of the cardstock. Then with your basic white piece, you're going to score this one at, let me just read my notes, at 14.3. Okay, so that's all the scoring we need to do. Okay, so I like to use my bone folder to get a nice crisp fold. So just make sure that that lines up perfectly. Then with my card base, I've got 2 fold lines to do here. So the correct way, which a lot of people feel is the wrong way, is to have the mountain or the raised part on the inside. A lot of people, and I must say even when I first started making cards, it felt like it was the wrong thing to do, but it is the right thing to do. So here's our card base. Then we've got our card that's going to go on the inside, and then our little off-cut bits here. I just need to lift this camera up again. Oh, sorry about this. You might want to close your eyes. I'll tell you when I'm ready. Let's try. The camera's very heavy and it's just making my... Right, okay. I've repositioned it now. So hopefully you can all see that. It's on an angle for me, but maybe we'll just try that. Right, that's a little bit better for now. Let's see how we get on with it. Okay, so using my Stampin' Seal, I'm going to put my pieces of designer series paper down. Now, I like to see how they might... The patterns don't actually join because I cut it as a strip. It was a long strip this way, but they don't look too bad that way, so I'm going to put them that way. It doesn't matter because you don't really see them because the panel's in the way. But I'm just going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back of these. And then with those measurements, it just gives you a nice little equal border all the way around. And then open it up. And then we'll just do the same on the inside panel. And again, just an equal border all the way around. Okay, so that's our card base all ready to go. So let's work on the stamping. Okay, so this is the stamp set, Colour and Contour. I used the large flower on a stem. Oh, I didn't get my stamping blocks out. Just quickly grab a stamping block. Sorry about that. Right, let's use this one. So, oh, wants to stick to me. Okay, and then I just used the Memento Tuxedo black ink and inked up the flower, and I just stamped that directly onto the cutout piece. Like so, and then on the inside of the card, well, I say inside, on the front of the inner card, I stamped this a couple of times. Better make sure I've got it opening the right way. And then I just put one a little bit higher up into the side, and then I stamped it again, just to sort of fill in a bit of space on the bottom so you can see it poking out. I actually put this one lower down and angled it more. Now, the one thing I like about this stamp set is you actually don't have to colour it in. It comes with a stamp that does the colouring in for you. And the other thing I like about that stamp too is although it does the colouring in for you, it's also not, it doesn't line up perfectly. So it doesn't matter if you don't have a stamping tool to be precise. It's just, it's not exact anyway. So this is the piece that we're going to use to colour it in. Let's get a different stamping block. The colour I used here was Berry Burst, and I didn't get it out in advance, so here we go, Berry Burst. This is a colour that's returned to the Stampin' Up collection. When it came out originally as an in colour, and it was one of my favourites, so I was really pleased to see it come back. Now, to line it up, because it's not exact, I take that little bud, which is at the top, line that up, and then just kind of eyeball the left and right. It's harder to do when with the video camera in the way. But like I say, it's not designed to be a perfect fit. So that's the flowers on the inside and the one for the front. Okay. I didn't line that one up very well, but it's a bit hard with the light of the ring light and trying to see what I'm doing, and the camera's dropping again. But anyway, hopefully it'll be all right. So I'm just going to keep that out because I'm just going to stamp the inside. So on the inside I put thank you for everything. Oh, take that off, don't need that one anymore. Pop that back in there. And just get my black ink again. So on the inside I did thank you for everything. I then got the little bud from the flowers from the stamp set. There's a nice little bud here. And I just stamped that like so. And there's even a little stamp to colour in the bud, so you don't even need to colour that in. So do that in the Berry Burst. And that is inside. I might just pop a little, it is meant to be a leaf, it's kind of like a little squiggly leaf, and I'll just do that in Granny Apple Green. I've got all my inks out at the moment. Okay, in the Granny Apple Green, I'm just going to stamp this along the bottom. Okay, so that's the inside of my card done. I'm just going to put another sentiment on the outside. That's what I like about this, with it being a double card, is you can get two nice sentiments in there. And I'm going to get this one, which is You're Absolutely Amazing. I like the font of the writing on this stamp set. I can put these coloured inks away now because I've finished with the colours. So just using the Memento, I'm going to stamp in here. Let's line it up on my, oh, you can't really see because this is falling again. Let's just lift you up again. Sorry about this. I did have this set up, and I I moved it around for some reason and now it's trying to get it back again. But anyway, so I like to just line this up so I know it's straight against my grid paper, and that just helps me eyeball this going straight on here. And I just want to kind of bring it down, not touching the inked flowers, but nice and close, eyeballing it to be straight, and that looks pretty good to me. Okay, so we can put that back on there. And now it's just really the finishing off and assembly of this card. So as you can see, it's a really quick and simple, easy card to make. So we've already put our designer series paper on. So we're going to put some tape on the back of our inner card. And we're just going to line that up. This also has an equal border all the way around it, so we're just going to line that up, pop that down. So that's our card inside our card. And then on the outside here, I'm just going to put some, what's this called? Baker's twine. I'm just going to use this one that's sort of like a burlappy kind of colour. And just let's wrap that around. Enough to tie a nice little bow. Get my scissors, chop it off about there. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of sellotape on the back, just to hold the thread in place, and then we'll just tie a little bow. Might have cut one of those ends a little bit short. Which way does this bow want to fall? Okay, that's pretty good. Right, so now I'm going to put some more double-sided adhesive just on the back of the smaller piece. Whoops, that moved the tape. Then pop that onto there. And then using some stamping dimensionals, and I got myself a new pack of those because I ran out. Is that them? Yes, that's them. Let's get a strip of these out. Okay, so just with the stamping dimensionals, we obviously don't want any adhesive on the back side of this, so we're going to go down this side, and I'm just going to pop 4 dimensionals down. I'll pop that one a little bit close to the edge, never mind. There we go. Take the paper, backing paper off. And then I just close up the card and eyeball it, and the dimensionals are just down here on the left hand side. So now when we open it up, we've got a card inside a card. So I have got some other samples. This was the one I did and showed you at the beginning. I did some other samples using, we have a brand new stamp set that's going to be available in our new mini catalogue. The mini catalogue is launching on the 4th of January. 2024, and we'll go through to April 2024. I'm not allowed to show you the inside just yet. So that's the mini catalogue, and then there's celebration going on throughout January and February. So if you purchase to a certain value, you can choose free items out of the celebration catalogue. So when this video goes live, those will be available. So this is one of the stamps that is in that new catalogue. This is the stamp set here, Trusty Tools, and this is a card. On this side it's got "You're the most awesome," and then in the inside I've put "Thank you." So this is going to be for one of my maintenance men at work. If any of you have seen the video where I show my stamp storage shelf, he's the same maintenance man that built that for me. This is one I did with an old stamp set, one of my favourites, which I can't part with, called Garden and Bloom. It's quite an old stamp set now, and I love this, and I love that you can actually read the sentiment while it's shut too. Hope you're feeling special today, and then you open it up and it says, because that's just what you are. So I love that stamp set, so I had to do one with that. And then this is another new stamp set out of the new coming mini catalogue. This one is called Submarine Life, and I love anything to do with underwater, so it was sort of a no-brainer really to do this one. And it's got you are sublime, and you open it up, sending oceans of love. And I've just used some old designer series paper on that too. So there's just a few other examples using the same card. I hope that you go ahead and make some yourself and share them with me. That would be really lovely. Just pop more out here for you. Have a happy 2024 and hope you can join me soon. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. It helps me a lot. Thank you. Bye.